All right, guys. SERRAL in the top right, Rogue in the bottom left. Sorry for coming into the series a little bit late, 3 minutes in. This tournament has just been go, game to game. And we are casting this directly after the other semifinals between Maru and Raynor. Go watch that already, if you haven't already. If you're watching this on YouTube, later on, go watch that one, because I'm gonna at some point be referencing who they're playing in the finals, the winner of this match. So keep that in mind. This is an all-in for Rogue. Very quick Roach Warren hidden in the back. Baneling Nest at the front to pretend it's a normal build. But wait. Where's the Evo chamber? I'm confused. What is Rogue doing? Okay, SERRAL's going to do a Ling Bane pressure off of 30 workers. He's got a Roach Warren for safety. Very safe play for SERRAL. He's gone 30 drones, 13 Zerglings, just one Baneling, very light pressure. And he's just seeing what he can find out. The SERRAL Zergling gets in, sees the Evo chamber. Evo chamber is a sign of greed. Means Rogue's playing a longer game. Rogue might just not use that, build pure roaches, and go all in. That Evo chamber was meant to be scouted. Rogue is playing a 300 IQ mind game right now, guys. He's about to build nothing but roaches, and he's going to go. That Evo chamber was meant to get scouted. Why would you hide it there? It's so easy to scout. But it's just out of the way enough that no one would put it there and hoping you would scout. That's crazy. Rogue's going all in. Does SERRAL get the read, though? He's going to lose a queen already. Great engage there for Rogue. Does lose a few Zerglings. Roaches are about to come out. Oh, he doesn't clump his roaches. He's not trying to hide it. He's just going. Rogue prioritizing urgency, but SERRAL only went 8 workers ahead, is already building his own roaches. Oh, SERRAL showing immense respect. He knows who he's playing. I really thought this was going to be Rogue trying to cheese the heck out of SERRAL in this series, and seems like SERRAL predicted this as well, because there was no tell that this was like necessarily an all-in, other than maybe being a little low on drones on the natural. And yet he has made the read and just said, nah, stop droning, build a ton of roaches. If he can defend this attack, he's going to have an 8-worker advantage and be miles ahead. Baneling's really good micro on the Banes here for SERRAL. He's got to bring those back around the north side, though. Otherwise, Rogue will detonate them. But, oh, pretty good Baneling hits for SERRAL, actually. He took out a lot of the Zerglings there, and he's got the Roach advantage. The Banelings making it so that the Rogue Zerglings can't really stand and fight. And that's going to be an impressive hold for the Finnish player. Also, an Overlord waddles in there as well. It's going to die. SERRAL with an 8-worker advantage. He should move across the map to counterattack. Oh, we can surround these. Oh, that's huge. No escape for those roaches. They will go down. Very efficient here. And of course, Rogue he's just massing Zerglings. So he's going to try and surround this army with a pure mass Zergling mobility and get a few Ravagers as well. But this is all on one gas. So one gas all in for Rogue, guys. It's a super all-in build. SERRAL has 2 gases, taking a third. He has a 17-worker advantage, an Evo, a Lair, and another gas. He runs Lings in, sees no drones on the third, and he says, okay, stop droning, build roaches, make a spine. He's going to come with round 2. But I'll tell you what, guys, if round 2 looked maybe a little soft against just how many roaches SERRAL had, if round 1 looked a little soft, round 2 is going to be as flaccid as they get. I'm not sure if you guys watched Juice Bigelow, but remember the detective who keeps going on about how he's got his spaghetti thin manhood? That's kind of this next push. It's basically mass Zerglings with 4 roaches. Banelings absolutely will shut this down. Rogue knows he's probably dead. He knows this is not a high percentage play. But when the previous attack failed, he was in a very bad spot. And oh, those Zerglings, they do take some big hits. New Banelings finish. And dude, these Zerglings are just getting ravaged. Rogue has to tap out. Mass Zergling ain't breaking Roach Baneling Spinecrawler. SERRAL with a really good predictive play there. I don't know how he got the read or if he was just playing extra safe because he's playing Rogue, but that was a perfect defense. All right, guys. SERRAL on the bottom right side of the map. Rogue in the top left. It's going to be hatchery first. SERRAL has the favored spawn. Why? Because his drones spawn down here, closer to the minerals. Look at that. Whereas look at Rogue's minerals up on the top side. He's got to run further away. Get wrecked. The map here, Ruby Rock spawning with a European bias. Sorry, guys, got to update that scoreboard, don't I? Well, that's not the correct button. Oh my gosh, look at this overlay, guys. Isn't that cute? That was a button mishit. I forgot you could do that. I think you're meant to have graphics imposed on top of this, is the idea for a cool little player intro. That's fun. I know, yeah, no, Degenerate Gentleman has explained to me that the music genre gent is just called gent. And I'm like, well, why'd you spell it this cool way then? If you're going to spell it a cool way, I'm going to call it Degent. Degenerate Gentleman, you know? I just think that sounds awesome, man. People often on the internet, they're like, oh, my name, I'm like, hey, Michael. And they're like, oh, no, actually, it's Mikokulolo. And I'm like, well, you spelt it wrong, didn't you? And I've already called you. I'm not going to friggin' listen to how to pronounce every person's name in the chat. I love you guys, but come on. Realistic expectations, guys. Who's pulling off gas? Rogue pulls 1 off gas. SERRAL pulls 2 off gas. So SERRAL really optimizing his minerals, wants a quick third, wants the minerals, wants the economy. Rogue only pulling 1 off, still has the option to go quite aggressive on the Lingbane. For pronunciation, Ajozzle has an interesting name. Yeah, I love Ajozzle. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. How else would you say Ajozzle? Sorry, guys, I should talk about SERRAL Rogue. Stop distracting me, Twitch chat. You guys are silly. Guys, SERRAL still hasn't put back on gas. What the heck? That's so late. No Baneling Nest yet either. It's 3 minutes. SERRAL, what is this build? SERRAL's going to go straight Roach Warren. SERRAL's going straight Roach Warren. He's going to do the Zergling pressure into straight Roach Warren. He just puts back on gas now. Roach Warren in the wall will go off. Go up now. No, it is delayed Bane Nest. Okay, but basically he's saying, look, I don't have Banelings very early, so I'm going to have to build Zerglings and pressure you with them. Because if I let you morph Banes on my side of the map, I'm screwed. And guess what? Rogue's going Ling Bane. Massive pressure. He is 2 drones higher, but he's building a Baneling Nest on time, and he's making a mass of Zerglings. Even more than SERRAL is. If SERRAL doesn't leave any Lings at home, he could be in massive trouble because he can't morph Banes without Zerglings at home. He's about to potentially overcommit to some aggression, but Rogue's built 5 Banelings. 3 of them are on SERRAL's side of the map. SERRAL has no idea. 1 down south, 2 up north. Lings are going to sneak into the natural. Ooh, that's a really good move. A bunch of the Lings almost get caught here for SERRAL. SERRAL, he's got a few Zerglings at home. Oh, he did build extra Zerglings to make Banes at home. Brilliant play for SERRAL. He's going to get himself 3 drones in the main. Oh, only 2, actually. Good micro for Rogue. Brilliant micro for Rogue. SERRAL does spot the Banelings coming in. So many Banelings. This is an all-in for Rogue. He is going non-stop Ling Bane. Losing the 3rd is perfectly fine for SERRAL because he's up 10 drones. Of course, you don't want to give it up for free. You want to make Rogue pay a hefty price for this. Oh, all the Banelings go down. The Queens and the Zerglings. Is it enough to defend? The surround for Rogue is excellent. Beautiful engage there for Rogue. And he's really shut down SERRAL now. With no Queens, SERRAL is suddenly in a terrible spot. But committing the Zerglings to that Baneling was a very ill-fated call for Rogue. This Baneling is going to be clutch, though. Will get himself a juicy. Well, SERRAL pulls back at the last second. Keeps it minimal. SERRAL is up in army supply right now, and he's rebuilding 2 Queens. Remember, he was up 10, 12 drones that whole time. It's a big advantage. But the Roach Warren's coming in behind. Rogue's going to be able to at least go to a more normal game. SERRAL counter-thrusting, adding his own Roach Warren. We do have a nice little Zergling counter for Rogue. If you could pick off a few drones with no Queen there, that's hard to defend. And Rogue runs away. Was that an F2? That looked like an F2 if I've ever seen one. Rogue, he's been studying Hero's strategies. Hero is the best player in the world right now, in my opinion. Even though he fell out of the group stage of this tournament early, that's just how Hero plays StarCraft. Win 2 tournaments, lose 1 early. Banelings. Ooh, doesn't quite get the detonate. And SERRAL's going for the Southeast Asia Banelings, guys. Southeast Asia was my server in the early days of StarCraft 2. And we would love hiding Banelings in the corner of our opponent's base. Barely saves the Queen. Oh, Baneling saves the Queen there. SERRAL's going to send his Banes in. He surrounds these Zerglings. Rogue not reacting. Oh, 6 drones go down in Rogue's main. 5 Roaches building for SERRAL. He's up 16 workers now off the back of that. And one has to wonder, why is Rogue still going Ling Bane all in on triple gas? He's going triple gas. He's going Evo Chamber. He's going a Roach Warren, but his droning has been very slow here. SERRAL really just upping the multitasking ante, and Rogue's been trying to make the game messy. But Rogue, I do not think mechanics is necessarily his strength. I think he thought he would get so much momentum that SERRAL would be reeling. SERRAL actually played a lot of Zerglings early, and that's why it was really hard for Rogue to get the Baneling attack going as quickly as he wanted to. I think that's where things went awry for him. I think he was planning to get the Baneling attack started earlier. He missed that opportunity because of SERRAL's build order, getting on the front foot. Now, Rogue has tied up the workers. SERRAL's already had a massive worker advantage for a long time. So if SERRAL just shoves right now with Roaches, even a fake shove, Rogue has to do nothing but build Roaches for a while to recover. And the problem for SERRAL is he's being so passive. He has a much bigger army, and he's not using it. So this is classic. This is one of the few weaknesses SERRAL's always had. which is being overly defensive. That's always been a feature of Serral's play, being a bit more passive than he needs to. He's good enough in a macro game, it normally doesn't matter. He sees a lair, an Evo chamber upgrading, a lot of drones. He's building a spine at home. Serral's up in workers, but he's actually still way up in army. And yet Rogue is scaring him into building static defense. Then again, he starts 5 drones, which tells us he's not scared. Surely he cancels this spine crawler. 7 more drones building. Is that too cocky? Good cancel on the spine. Now, Rogue is going all in. It's hatchery tech +1. He's cancelled the lair. Serral building roaches with his own +1 in roach speed, but his +1's a little bit later. And actually, the spine crawler would have been a help here. Some massive roaches showing themselves, pulling away. He's trying to be sneaky, and now Rogue's going for it. Serral doing nothing but building roaches. He restarts the spine crawler now, realizing, okay, you're super all in. I'm on 4 gases. Actually, 5. He's on 5 gas. 58 workers, a 12 worker advantage, but he's up in army supply. I mean, there's just no chance. Even with the +1 kicking in about 10 seconds sooner, I don't think that's enough. Not with Ravagers and Queens on the defense as well. Baneling stopped the Zergling run by on the right side. And Serral, a brick wall right now. Rogue is throwing everything at it. This is reminiscent of their semifinals at 2018 BlizzCon, where he just threw everything at Serral, and Serral would not go down, would refuse to break. He's going to try and get through, but that is a massive arc of roaches. And of course, big defensive position. The spine hasn't even come into play just yet. Serral has the numbers. The Queen's adding damage and tankiness. Rogue is outnumbered. He's outgunned. And Serral shutting down Rogue 2 games in a row. All right, guys, Serral in the top right, Rogue in the bottom left. We were just telling the story about how in 2019, Rogue had been taking a break to grind MapleStory from StarCraft, tuned into some of the games, and he realized Zerg was broken, so he decided to abuse it. And he like won a GSL, qualified for BlizzCon, came to BlizzCon, spammed Nidus Worm every single game. He already got the Nidus nerfed because he abused it so badly in GSL. There was some of the most disgusting Nidus Worm changes that year as well. They made it so the Nidus could not be killed while it was popping out of the ground. You had to wait for it to pop and then you could kill it. He already got it nerfed, so you could kill it, but it was really hard to kill. And but the maps were still amazing for it. And he went to BlizzCon and was just murdering Protoss players with Nidus all-ins. Like, you had to hit a timing attack to get him, because he would just do a greedy opening into like Nidus Swarm Host and you'd die otherwise. And Classic was the guy who managed to get him with the Blink DTs in that famous moment where the entire crowd was cheering for Rogue to lose, because Rogue 100% just went into that tournament as the bad guy. Didn't care. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm the bad guy. I'm going to abuse this Nidus Worm because it's broken, and I'm going to win a bunch of money. And everyone was like, no, don't let him win. His playstyle's ugly to watch. No. But he did lose in, was it the quarterfinals or the semis? I think it was the quarterfinals. Lost to a Blink DT all-in in Game 5 to Classic. Now, this is a macro hatchery build, guys. Rogue is playing build orders today. The macro hatch build is amazing. Normally, you do it in the wall off. Katz is one of the players who popularized this build. It's quite hard to play against. I play against it a lot. Now, it's really just awkward to play against, because what it can do is it can commit to a massive Ling Flood with a delayed third base. And then you think, well, they don't have a good economy. But not only is the Ling Flood really quite scary, but then also their third gets droned almost instantly because they just have so much lava. Or they can, you know, go cheeky mutas, or do this. There's so many options they have. And it's actually quite hard to play against. Especially in this scenario where you don't know there's a macro hatchery, because normally people put it in the wall off. And that makes this really hard for Serral to read. Serral goes for a more normal build. Third hatchery, Baneling Nest, very standard. And Serral is still the GOAT, says chat. Well, I think maybe Rogue's... I really don't ever get the feel that Rogue's quite as passionate about StarCraft as Serral. I don't think I've ever met anyone as passionate about StarCraft as Serral. Serral's obsessed with optimizing the game to a level very few other players are. He's going to go for a Ling Bane pressure. It's about 20 Zerglings. 2 more building behind it as well. And he's just sitting at home? Serral, you got to go, bro. Serral, you got to go, man. You can't make 20 Zerglings and just sit there. What in the heck is Serral doing? He's making a lair. Mass Ling's on the way for Rogue. I guess Rogue can just wall off with no third base. Why would you build Mass Zergling against no third base? One has to wonder. I think Serral may be very confused by what he's facing. Evo chamber there for reinforcement. Look at this. Rogue's really selling the story. of a guy who's not building Zerglings or Ling Speed. So SERRAL, but he's still got 2 Zerglings at home. He can morph into Banes reactively when these Lings flood out. Rogue supply blocked. Oh, that's a bad supply block. Does go back and inject his 3 hatcheries. Love to see him inject this hatchery on the natural as well. He's got energy there, but he doesn't want to let Zerglings run in. He's paranoid about that. I mean, Rogue needs to do something else. Surely he can't just make Zerglings until Carapace is finished. SERRAL's trying to play Mutas. I mean, this is an insane Ling Flood, guys. Carapace is not ready in time, though. 40 seconds away, so he's going to go before it's ready. 2 Banes instantly morph in the natural. That's what I was talking about. SERRAL's so good at having the insurance ready. This is a crazy Zergling count, though. Gases get cancelled on the 3rd. SERRAL realizes 4 gas is more than enough. He's just got to survive. If you can keep the 3rd alive, that would be great. Ooh, Baneling. First Baneling doesn't get a good detonate. He's trying to just make sure the Banelings don't die, and I think that's a crucial way of playing it. One of the Queens is about to go down. Rogue with a beautiful split on the Lings, but oh, good Baneling hit on one of them. Oh my god, the Lings are in the natural. It's so many Zerglings. The Banelings getting in. The Lings in the natural doing good damage. The drones are going to turn to fight. Another Baneling blows up on a single Zergling. Another one blows up on just 2 or 3 Zerglings. SERRAL is up 15 workers, though. If he could stabilize, he might be okay, but he's lost his Queens very early yet again. More Banelings coming forward. A few of these drones are trying to join the fight here. Spinecrawler goes down. 1 Queen rebuilding. This Queen a little bit vulnerable. Hard to cover both sides at once. Rogue, he's making a Baneling nest and now +1 melee. No 3rd base for Rogue. Rogue's transition is absolutely as drunk as they come, guys. This is a crazy build order. No 3rd hatchery behind it. Nothing but Massling Bane with a Spinecrawler, and now Mutas building. Rogue is doing a sort of follow-up all-in that I see often at GM. Never at pro play. Ooh, Banelings do blow up those Zerglings. What? He needs more, man. Those Zerglings are going to be getting overwhelmed. The Carapace is so good now. I think Rogue might have it. I know that seems crazy, but I think he might have it. He might have actually done it. Oh my gosh. He needed to just make more Banes. SERRAL needed more Banes. And losing those Queens early was a real bummer. The Spinecrawler tries to help. SERRAL's still up 17 workers. He's not dead just yet. But these Lings are in and they're going to snowball now. They're going to snowball, man. The drone's trying to fight in the natural. The Spine's going to go down. Those Carapace Zerglings. It doesn't really help against the Spine, but it helps against everything else so very much. 3rd base has been ransacked. Natural is now drones and Mutas fighting for their life against these Zerglings. SERRAL still building Mutas, realizing, well, you can't shoot up. The problem is the Zerglings can just run past and kill all of his drones, and that is where upgraded Zerglings tend to beat the Mutalisks. I don't think it's a build order win, but I do think SERRAL needs to wall off to respect it. If he was going Roaches, definitely SERRAL does well against this. After holding the first wave as well as he did, but he needed to just keep making Lings and Banes and nothing else, and wall off his natural. If you don't wall off your natural, they can just open a new front. Remember, if you get, I mean, it's expensive when you're going Mutas, but I think he should have built 2 Evos and just had a Queen in the wall, and then he can focus on defending out front, you know? But you've got to plug the wall. The last time I lost to this, I lost to Cats the other day. I moved the Queen out of the wall and the Lings got in and I just instantly lost. That was when I was playing Roaches as well. It's definitely the sort of build order you want to play against because Mutas are so popular on this map. Rogue's not got it just yet. He's going Infestation Pit, which makes no sense now. Rogue needs to build a 3rd base. Guys, I mean, surely he's got Burrow. And 1/1 upgrades. He's going to burrow Zerglings in both bases, forcing an Overseer to be morphed. But no 3rd hatchery is so silly. Oh no. Rogue's follow-up makes no sense, guys. He's going to burrow a Ling to block the 3rd, which is huge. He's got to unburrow these Lings, because Overseer's going to arrive. Mutas will clean these Zerglings up. They try to unburrow, but they all go down before they can get that drone. He's building Spores on 2 base. Uh-oh. I think Rogue's messed up. Oh no. He could have had a 3rd base ages ago, guys. And to go Infestation, triple gas before 3rd, when your main's half mining out, that is a huge error. Your advantage here is Ling upgrades. You can take a 3rd without even having to defend it. If these Mutas fly across the map, he might just get mauled by mass Zerglings coming in. Notice how SERRAL can't even leave his base right now. He's paranoid for good reason. SERRAL is paranoid because he knows he's in a screwed position, but if you just build Infestors on 2 base, what are you going to do with those Infestors? I think Rogue has made a tragic misstep. He probably basically had a plan to win with the upgraded Zerglings. I mean, that hasn't worked. He's freestyling now, and it's a freestyle plan that does not make sense. Units lost tab is a little in favor of SERRAL. SERRAL's equal on work as he's going to stabilize. I can't believe he's going to get a 3-0 off this potentially. I just don't see how you, like, can you even defend the third? Fungal does 25 damage now, guys, not 30. That is a massive damage nerf against things like Mutalisks. Like, what's that Fungal do? It gets you 1 Mutalisk kill. You've got to cancel your hatchery. You need a Spore over here. So the way you defend against the Muta counterattack, guys, is you make more Zerglings and you run them into their base. I kid you not. And he could have built that third hatchery so much earlier. I mean, this is a blunder for Rogue. There's no other way to put it. I know I'm a critical commentator. I know you don't like that. You hate Korean players. You never call about the non-Korean players blundering. Go watch the last few SERRAL series we cast, guys. Home Story Cup and Thunderfire. Go watch the series we cast right before this. Maru versus Raynor. You're gonna hear some almost whining about Raynor refusing to do certain things in that series. Fungal doesn't do anything there. It literally just makes him fly away. And it's actually high for SERRAL. SERRAL's going to beat him at his own game. He's going to go melee Carapace. He's going to go Ultras. But off of a better economy. I think it's going to be Infesta Ultra for Rogue as well. Ling's trying to run forward. Pig, this feels like a build that Shin or Dark gave to Rogue to use when they gave him advice on the series, but they didn't give him any follow-up. So the early game was mint, and now he's just trying to figure stuff out, and he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, I kind of agree with that sentiment a little bit. I think it's the transition makes sense. If he just took a third first and then did everything he's done here, I'm totally fine with it. Look at that. He just wasted a lot of Fungal, doesn't get any value for it. Ultra Cabinet Adrenal, +2 melee on the way for SERRAL. SERRAL's 4th base up top, already long distance mining. Remember, in these sort of games, because your bases are mining out so early, you really need to get that 4th base up. Losing this 4th is tragic because Rogue's effectively only on 2 mineral lines. Half in the main, half in the natural, and a full mineral line on the 3rd. So losing his 4th, such a problem. You can see SERRAL, he's long distance mining because he's in the same situation. Rogue. Okay, this is actually so dumb and funny, and I love him for it. What he's going to do, he's going to pop up here, and he's going to double fungal the workers, but he shouldn't do it from the same area because it takes 2 fungals to kill drones, so you can get a bunch here with one and a bunch somewhere else with others. He's going to throw a fungal there. He's going to... Oh, he can reach that side, can he? Does throw a nice second fungal, but it looks like those guys are going to escape up top. Massling. Oh, I do like the Massling attack. Gets 8 drones. He's going to burrow his infestors and try to hide, which is adorable. That's a fun troll move, guys. It's actually not bad. He did get 8 drones. I guess he had too many infestors. And whilst they're good against Lingbane, decent against mutas if you've got something else that fights them, he doesn't have an answer to ultras with them. Infestors will go down. Should have gone to different mineral lines. He should have done that to different areas. Just 1 infestor to each mineral line is usually pretty nice. Yeah. He's been watching beating Grandmasters with stupid stuff from Hearthstone, guys. Has Rogue. And there's some really cool style points. Rogue is always entertaining to watch stylistically. And that's one thing we've got to credit Rogue with. My big criticisms of him recently are competitively. He gives his opponents too much chance to get back in games when he's ahead. And he's done exactly that here. But he's been doing that a lot against Protoss, where he gets a lead and then just chills for like 5 minutes. Often still picks them apart in late game. When he's playing the best of the best, he gets punished really hard. Because he's too busy trying to play the fun stuff that he likes doing in late game rather than just winning the game when he could win it. SERRAL, sometimes a bit too defensive. Doesn't move across the map quickly enough. Feels like he'll shave his opponent down just one little slice at a time rather than just stabbing them in the heart when he has the opportunity. It's hard to criticize SERRAL for that because he's so effective at it. Adrenal +2 melee Zerglings get a very quick hatchery snipe. Oh, back on the Maple Story stuff, I asked Rogue. He said he hasn't played Maple Story in a few years. I was really sad. He's like, yeah, he was like, I got sick of it. I haven't played in a long time. I asked him the other week. I was like, no, that was your #1 excuse whenever you lose a tournament. I would just say, oh, guys, don't worry. There was a Maple Story DLC or something. I don't know if they have DLC. I don't know. I don't know how that game works, but I was like, you know, new Maple Story content is what it is. Lings for SERRAL. Picking off units. He can get some infestors as well, maybe. Just YOLOing in here. Fungal being used to kill some of these units. Would have liked to see a second Fungal, but he's out of energy now. Only 4 infestors. It's going to be an Ultra Battle, guys, which is really cool. Now, in terms of Ultra Battle, upgrades really matter. They've both got 2/2 Kindness. 3/3 is actually a little ahead for Rogue, which is kind of cool. Looks like some Banes landed on that right side of the map. Units lost have about 600 in favor of SERRAL. SERRAL is up 1 Ultra right now. I think it might be better to stay lower on drones and have more Ultras than your opponent. The only thing that affects an Ultra Battle, guys, is just, I mean, Queen Transfuse can really help, and then just the angle your Ultras fight at can be nice. Like, you want to have a concave if possible. Oh, SERRAL has a few more Ultras here right now. Infestors and Lings aren't really going to do anything. A few Ultras come down a little bit too late, but Rogue's concave is already collapsing. And even though he gets to surround these Ultras on the bottom, I think it's a little bit too little too late. His Transfusers come in way too late. But, hold on. Actually, SERRAL may have overcommitted into the surround. A few more Ultras pop in the middle of that. The Mutas and the Banes roll in, and oh, no, Rogue! Oh, okay, that could have been worse. 12 drones and a Spore Quill, 13 drones and a Spore go down. SERRAL is rich. He's on 5 base, man. 73 workers to 59. Ultra count is 7 versus 8, actually in Rogue's favor now. How many Ultras died on both sides, guys? So that fight actually turned really good for Rogue. It looked like it was going really bad, but then a bunch of Ultras popped out, came in, the Transfusers started landing, and it actually was a good Ultra versus Ultra battle. SERRAL's doing so much to pick him apart elsewhere, though, that I worry for Rogue that SERRAL's just going to have more money, more stuff, and Lings are so good at run buys. Ultras are going to struggle to get back on top of them, even though Ultras are very fast. Going to go after a few of these workers on the gas. It's quick enough that it's adding to the workers he killed with the Banelings earlier, which means 27 workers will go down. Muta's still dancing around as well. And Rogue, all he's got is 6 queens and the occasional Fungal. Going to try and chain it. He's got 1 more Fungal available, but queens just aren't the unit you need here, man. Fungal's good for stopping a Muta player that's jumping on top of your army, but it's not good for catching the Mutas out. Ultra's hitting the middle again. Rogue comes from both sides. The Ultra's on the left pulling back. Really nice pullback for Rogue. Oh, Rogue has a better position. SERRAL, bad fight for SERRAL. Bad fight angle for SERRAL, guys. Top side going well for Rogue. Bottom side going well for Rogue. SERRAL just took a disastrous engagement. Absolutely terrible Ultra engagement. Oh my lord. SERRAL just threw away his whole army, guys. That was a disaster. His run bys are picking Rogue apart, so it might not matter. But guys, look at the Ultra loss count. 20-9. That is so bad. SERRAL, admittedly, he did lose the 2019 Grand Semifinals to Raynor because he went Ultras and had no idea how to use them. SERRAL barely gets to this stage. He normally plays Lurkers, not Ultras. He's going to try and defend here. Can he hold the high ground? He's losing his low ground base. 5th base does get ransacked. Ultras on both sides getting popped. It is equal upgrades, but Rogue's just been coming in with a better unit count at a few times. SERRAL holds on for now. Is it enough? His Muta's coming back as well. There's nothing that shoots up, so the Mutas will eventually clear this. And with his Lings sniping one of the last mining hatcheries of Rogue, I think he's going to be able to hang on. Yeah, I think he barely survives. With the new Ultras popping and the Mutas helping with their bounce damage, yeah, he's barely going to survive. Whew. Appallingly bad Ultra fights for SERRAL there, guys. Really bad. He was attacking and letting himself getting surrounded and kind of concaved on. And he got wrecked in those Ultra battles. But his multitasking, his early game defense was good. I think if Rogue takes a third, there's like a 5-minute window. If Rogue takes a third, he's miles ahead. But the nail in the coffin is going 4 gas infestation pit before taking a third. And that just put Rogue basically decided to hamstring his own economy. Huge mistake for him. Kind of unfortunate because the upgraded Zergling build with Macratch is really good against Mutas. GG, well played. SERRAL gets a 3-0 and goes to the finals against Maru.